All right, welcome to the Whale Trading Network. We're going to have a video here. I'm Pyretta, and with me I have Amager, and we have built this indicator. We want to try and bring it to you guys and explain what you're seeing from the indicator and also what we're seeing in the Discord. We've got quite a few hours into this, or probably a couple thousand hours by this time, and we're pretty proud of what we got here. We have a system that's built for showing buy signals and sell signals, and with a full Discord integration built into it. So, what do you think we should go over here, Mog?
Yeah, hey guys. So like Pi said there, we're pretty excited about this. Looks great. But I know you guys don't really know what you're looking at. So Pi, do you want to break it down a little bit and tell them exactly what we're looking at here? I mean, there's a lot to go over, so we'll try to cover the most important stuff, right?
Sure. What we have here is the you're gonna see a series of dots. We're gonna have green dots and gold dots and red dots, and what the system does is that it does the technical analysis for you. And what a green dot means is that is an attempt for the indicator to call the bottom, right? So we could see here on Ethereum, we're on the 4-hour chart here. We could see that the price was dropping. The system detected, hey, this is a potential bottom. We typically don't buy the green dots simply because there's too many to rely on it as being reliable, right? We usually are going to wait for a confirmation gold dot, which will confirm that green dot. Okay, so we can see right here, we had a green dot print, and then it was followed up by a gold dot. And then after that point, we kind of sailed up after there. Okay, so we can kind of go back to, I like looking at this part of Ethereum. We could see we were at the top over here in December. The indicator detected we were in down channels. That's what we see here at these red bars. Okay, so we're detecting that we're in a down channel. We can see there's no green dots here. Okay, we got to this point here where we started to move up a little bit. The indicator picked this green dot saying, hey, we might have a potential bottom here. I mean, if you would have, depending on the type of risk you have, you could have bought this dot, followed it up, and used the stop loss system and been tapped out somewhere in this area. But if you want to play it a lot safer, you're going to wait for this green dot. Okay, so if we zoom in down here, we're going to see this green dot is going to be right before this gold dot, right? Okay, so that's our entry point with that. Okay, and as the price action moves up, we start moving up the fib, and then you're going to start seeing some of these red dots. The red dots are going to be a warning signal. So it's not like we have a red dot, we have to sell it. Okay, we have to get out of the trade. This is more of a warning signal saying, hey, the momentum's starting to slow down, and so the indicator will call. Let's put a red dot up here because we could see we ripped up here. The momentum slowed. I mean, if the momentum didn't slow, we're still ripping, right? And so the momentum slowed down. We started moving sideways, chop a little sideways there. So we ended up printing a red dot here. Now, along this way, you will see alerts will fly into the Discord. Okay, as this thing moves up, crosses the bands, and you're going to get signals sent to the Discord with suggested stop losses. you can see our price action here kind of move sideways, and we ended up getting another red dot. See, we had some movement up here, and we detected that the momentum slowed down, so we got another red dot. Okay, and then we ended up falling back, and fortunately enough, we got a green dot followed by a gold dot, and then we kind of ripped up to all-time high. Or no, not all-time high, but we ripped up to this peak up here. Okay, but we can see along the ways, hey, we slowed down, we got a red dot, we kind of moved up, the momentum slowed, we got red dot, moved over, we came down a little bit, we ripped up here to 2800 or 4800, and then we pulled back and we got another red dot here, right? Because momentum slowed. Here's our another red dot. Okay. So what do you think about that?
Yeah, that's a great breakdown, Pi. Pretty much covered everything there that these guys need to know about buying and selling or using the stop loss as their sell signal, right? Like you said, sometimes it's great. There's only one that prints. It could be a sell, right? But you don't know if there's going to be one or there's six, right? So there's so many different metrics that this thing covers that if it is going to continue down, you're not going to see any more reds until there's a reprieve or a bounce, and then another one will print. Usually when you see this happen, it's like, yeah, you definitely want to kind of stay away from it, where it's not picking up any buy signals on this upper momentum until it picked it up here again. And then once again, you got stopped out up around here. But like Pi had mentioned with the TA bot. So to touch base a little bit on the Discord, because Pi touched on it a little bit, there's an extensive list of trade rules there. It goes over everything in detail, gives you examples of what you should be looking for, and what how to react on what's printing. Typically, like Pi said, these green dots on the 4 hour, I just like to use those as kind of a guideline to try to mark bottom to wait for one of these. So yeah, maybe Pi, if you want to go over a little bit on the Discord and what we have set up there and available for people that want to join it.
Sure. Yeah. So we have this, as we have these bands up here, and I'm kind of not showing them. It's a little harder to see a chart. You'll see we'll be crossing these bands as the price action moves, right? We have the 9 here, then we got the 50, 100, and the 200. And plus, we do have a lot of action here. So we're looking at a lot of different metrics. We're looking at the volatility. We're looking at, the stochastic RSI or the band crossing. Each time one of those events takes place on each of the time frames, right? Because we look at the 4 hour, which is typically going to be used for, DCAing entries. We're looking at the daily chart, and then we're looking at the 5-day chart, right? Your 5-day chart is going to be one of the most reliable, simply because it's got the most data involved in it. So if we kind of take a peek here at Ethereum's 5-day chart, we will see, we got a gold buy dot here. We called one here and another one here, and we ended up ripping up. Okay, then we got our red dots over here, which kind of would have moved us out, right? So we would have followed this line up here, and then we would have gotten stopped out, and we would have re-entered our trade back here, right? And we would have come up, and we would have gotten stopped out again. And this is that big down channel. We went from December all the way to April. Okay, so when we got down to the bottom of this, because we sold at the point up here, got to the bottom down here, and we got another gold dot. Okay, and brought it all the way back up to 4,800. Okay, so whenever we're crossing these bands and the action down here is taking place, we're going to be moving over to the Discord, and the Discord is then going to show us some of these alerts. Now we'll look at the raw channel where the alerts come in, and we're looking at this is the micro channel. The micro channel receives all the alerts. This is what the bot uses to sort and distribute all the alerts to the users that subscribe to the system. This tracks everything on the watch list. I think currently we have like 300 assets on the watch list. And then we have our larger time frame channel. We split this up so that we don't hit the rate limits on Discord. But the higher time frames, the 5-day and the single day, all come into this one channel, and the bot monitors each of them. So when you subscribe to an asset through the bot system, you're going to end up getting some of these your private channel dedicated just for you. Like, you're the only one that has access to this channel. So if you sign up for technical analysis alerts, you're going to receive all these, whether you got wick rejections or where we had bearish trend continuations, and each one of these technical analysis alerts are going to come with a suggested stop loss, right? And those stop losses are then translated into what we call the asset report, okay? So we can see, I'm not going to get anything there, but we can see we got an alert that we had a bearish trend continuation on Ethereum. It's going to give us what it was. We crossed down below the 9 over here, okay, and that kind of gives us the price. So, what is our current price, and what are the price of the bands currently on the system, right? It will give you what your current price is versus the other bands. We can see here we're not above any bands, unfortunately. We're below all of these bands, and it will give us the last gold dot that we received. Okay, so the last gold dot on the 4-hour chart, we can see that came in at this price. Okay, so we're at 34.28, and then it also follows us up with a stop loss recommendation. Okay, this is telling us that we would want to run the tight at 3,110, but it's also telling us here, hey, we shouldn't even be in this trade, right? And the reason we shouldn't be in this trade is because the gold dot came at 34.28 and the current price is under that, right? So we should have been stopped out if we were following the stop losses up to the point of where we would have sold it, and we would have sold it at what, 4,800, around that area, right? So even though you could be stuck in here bag holding, it's still going to give you a stop loss recommendation. And if you kind of want to see what the recommendations are for all the different time frames, we're going to type in asset report, okay, and then we're going to pick crypto from the list because that's what we're looking for. And let's say if we want to look at the 1-day time frame, and we're going to type in ETH, and we're going to hit enter here, and it's going to come up and tell us, look at on the 1-day time frame, we haven't had any technical alerts come in on this recent window, and our look back window is 12 hours, right? So nothing much has been going on with that. But it's going to tell us what our 4-hour stop loss settings would be, our 1-day and our 5-day, right? Each one of these lines also comes with a gold dot of when the last gold dot was. So we can see here the 4-hour last gold dot was at 34.28. The last gold dot on the 1-day was 1796, right? And then on the 5-day, the last gold dot was at 29.81. Okay, so if you were still in this trade, this on the 5-day gold dot, you'd be up 76% right now, right? Or if you bought the last 1-day dot, you'd be up 92% since then. If you bought the 4-hour dot, well, you're down 8% right now. So, but that's, like I said, if you follow that stop loss recommendation that the bot's going to give you, you would have been tapped out around 4,800, and you would have been sitting on your profit right now. Okay, waiting for another entry from another asset. So that is the asset report. Okay. Um, we also have over here where we're going to pull in the red dot alerts. Unfortunately, we've been running the system for 2 weeks now. We haven't got any gold dots on the 4 hour, and that should probably be expected, right? Because everything's been dropping like crazy. But the bot will take all the dots that come into the system, it will sort them and drop each one into the channel, specify for what it is. So we can see our gold dots that have come in on the daily, and we can take a look at our 5-day dots that came in. It'll also show us the green dots. I mean, the green dots are good for taking a peek to see if something is near the bottom, or if way you can kind of pull the chart up and take a look at it. Or you can ask one of us in the Discord, what our thoughts are. I lean away from the gold dots or the green dots, sorry, just because there is the potential you may not be buying the bottom. Okay, you'll see they come in flashing. Okay, and once the candle closes, if the technical analysis still lines up for it, then you'll get one that says confirmed, like we got one here on Bitcoin dominance, right? Candle closed on the 4-hour chart, and it kind of confirmed that dot, unfortunately, again. Likewise, with the red dots, you'll get the red dots that come in on the 4-hour. We're really not going to have any red dots, not in the way things are right now. You're looking at 4 days since we've gotten any red dots on the 4-day, and we still haven't gotten any daily dots. So you're typically going to start seeing red dots flow in when everybody's happy, prices are moving up, and you'll start seeing these green and gold dots flow in when everybody's, when there's blood in the streets, as they say, right? We also follow the stocks. They kind of do the same thing. The stocks have a little more action going on. So you're going to probably see a lot more red dots on the stocks. If you pulled up a stock chart, you're probably going to be wondering why you're even buying crypto. But nonetheless, so you can see these red dots are coming in for the stocks, obviously, because they're all moving up for the most part. So you want to show us a couple charts over there, and maybe if you want to go over an asset or two.
Yeah, sure. That was a great breakdown, Pi. You pretty much covered everything that we need to cover there on the buy and sell in the TA bot system. So let me give you an example here on, let's say XRP. We'll pull up that on the 5-day here. Let me get this fixed here. So as you can see, XRP had a pretty violent move. On these confirmations here, on these gold dots here, they were great buys. I mean, you're right at the bottom. It pegged everything here pretty much. You didn't miss any moves at all with XRP. So there's selected assets that Pi and I went over extensively, and that we're very confident in the results that we have with the indicators, that we're going to suggest those assets more so than buying mid caps or small large caps. Those dots aren't as accurate. You will get the prints. There is price movement, but sometimes it doesn't work out, and you get stopped out prematurely. So with these assets, they're much better buys. Like, see, it didn't print anything for a long time up here on the daily because it was so extended, but you were already in there on the 5-day, right? So usually what you want to take into consideration is where you're buying it and when you're buying it. So, on the let's go back to here for a second. Uh, on the 5-day chart here, like in around here, you're probably reluctant to use any kind of stop loss system or any kind of intention to sell at all because you're buying in bear market and I believe at this time Trump was front running crypto as his you know uh, kind of seal the deal type of thing, captivate the audience type of thing. So you're definitely holding here, and selling anywhere here, and you had plenty of different buys. Um, Link's another one, top notch. Link's going to be around for a while. We all know that. It's one of a kind. It can only do what it does. So again, like all these buys, they had significant increases in them, and you always had a fair warning of when to use a stop or when to sell. So it's pretty straightforward as long as you make sure to read the rules, understand the system, and implement the rules. There's no point in trying to go into this half half gunned, right? Because I mean, you want to try to make money. You want to try to make as much as possible. I mean that's what we're all in this for. So if you're buying something, say like here, there was no dot, red dot to kind of give you a warning, and like this is the only one that I can see here on Link that didn't really work out for us, right? But it did if we implemented the TA to go along with the buy signals, right? Right here. So you easily would have still made out of that trade if you bought in around here somewhere. Like they're not small moves. It looks small because the candles are small. We're on a larger time frame, zoomed out, right? But I mean, you got to be happy with that. And even if you got stopped out, say here you had a loose stop or something, yeah, you're not holding that, right? So we can't really stress enough how important it is to to use the system entirely, not just to go okay, gold dot buy, I'm holding, it's okay, it's gonna go up kind of thing. We really don't want that from you guys. Um, no no one wants to be here holding an asset hoping that it goes up. So we we're gonna know when it's gonna go up and we're gonna know when it's gonna go down. So utilize that, right? Hopefully we covered everything here that you guys needed to know or were wondering about the system. However, if there is anything else that we didn't cover and you guys feel like you want to know, there is in our Discord here in the onboarding section, if I can find it here. Yeah, so in here, there's question and answers. Sorry, it's in stream requests. So if you have any questions, as you can see, there's a few questions there now. Please, we want you to ask them. We want guys to be asking questions. We want people to be testing the system in a sense of asking for clarity, right? So rock on, guys. Let's let's try to clean this up and make some money. All
Yeah.
right, Pi.
Yeah, and just another thing I wanted to touch on the, I know you can kind of see it on my view over here. And let's transition over here. I know you can kind of see it over here. Oh, we have the 5-day green dot channel. So on the 5-day chart, we'll move over to transition over there. So on the 5-day chart, we don't see any green dots on the 5-day. All right. So this is the only time frame where the gold dot will print by itself. Okay. Um, as opposed to like on the 1-day where we're going to have a green dot first, followed by the gold dot, right? So we can see we had the gold green here, followed by the gold. The 5-day is the only one that does not work like that. Okay, so that's why you guys don't have a green dot channel for the 5-day. So, but if you guys have any questions, want some more definition on any of the stuff, the rules are pretty extensive that are listed in there. It took a little bit to make those rules up. You'll find them up here under the onboarding section. There'll be the trading rules. Scroll up to the top, just kind of give it a little look through until you understand it. The green, it has the green dot, the gold dot, the red dot sections, a little more lengthy because there's a little more care involved. Again, we're not seeing a red dot like on the other systems where we're going to exit fully, right? We're going to follow our stop loss system, and we're going to let the exchange sell us, right? We're not going to exit out until our stop loss is met. So, but if you guys have any questions, just ask away in that channel for the underneath the stream request for the question and answer, and we'll try and cover it for you guys. All right. So we will make another stream here shortly, but until then,